Oh, what's going on, everybody? All right. Well, welcome everyone. Guys can be here, and if you are joining now, Happy New Year. Hopefully, everybody is safe. Everybody is joining us back here and is doing well, considering considering all. Uh, Welcome, episode 39. Before we get this thing jumping off, I think we should go ahead and jump into our intro, and then I'll see you guys back here in a few. All right, welcome back. So, um, this episode, I wanted to do a whole episode thing on the uh, whole incidents spiraling around World War II, the disappearances, head officials, the whole thing going around about the misinformation of the death of Hitler and whether or not he um, escaped from Germany during World War II, the invasion when they surrounded him. Uh, but I mean, we can talk about that as well. But I just wanted to jump on here and get your guys' perspective or thoughts about um, your thoughts about what has been going on lately with these terrorist attacks. Sounds so low. Like, why? Is that too much? Too much? Too much? Too much? Too much? But it seems like we are seeing uh, something that has been. I know I've spoken about it plenty of times, not just on my main profile, but uh, on 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 here as well about a lot of things pertaining to this active uh, terrorist uh, activity that we have been seeing unfolding, that has been unfolding for a while now. It's just now that we have these people coming out that are in that were in the military and that were active duty and are realized and doing these attacks. I mean, we've been having cops beaten in the subway stations. We've had women set on fire in subways. We've had people getting stabbed or getting shot in cities all across the country for a while now. Um, I mean, we've had poor children murdered in our streets by these uh, people that have been coming across our borders for some time now. And I think that the radicalization of people who are uh, doing this stuff now that we are seeing this guy that was in New Orleans, rented this car in Texas, drove it all the way to New Orleans, conducted this horrific atrocity. They're saying that there was an ISIS flag or something was flying out in his truck. And we've got this guy who was an active duty military man who drove this Tesla hybrid truck, parked it in front of Trump Tower, and had all these munitions in the back. And luckily for people that were in the building, and for Trump Tower, and thank God there wasn't anybody around. But it seems that the truck took the brunt of the force of the explosion, and it just and not out the way I think he was expecting it to happen. But there seems to be a growing concern amongst people about what is happening, what is taking place. Are we actually seeing the workings of a set in motion plan to conduct these types of atrocities across our country by these so-called radicalists who obviously these two idiots were Americans, and that in of itself is upsetting, to say the least. But how surprised are we, really? I mean, we see government officials who are, backing these Hamas groups that are calling for the destruction of America, that are sitting in constitutional seats of government, and are more likely to have to see something horrific happen in the name of Palestine than what they would if it was, do they give a crap about what happens to our people? I would probably say not. Yeah, I had a big discussion with some friends of mine, and we were talking and bringing up some theories that we knew of, possibilities. I mean, is it shocking to see that attacks are going to be happening on our soil? For some people, yes. For those of us who were talking about this stuff for a while now, we've been saying, keep your head on a swivel, be ready for these idiots that are, here in this country. I mean, these people are here. They're in the country. What we are seeing unfolding in front of us is nothing short of what these idiots are capable of doing. If they are really wanting to do something, they're going to do it. And isn't it ironic how we are seeing these fools conducting this stuff, and then all of a sudden the news media has all this information that they're spewing out? Oh, well, the FBI knows about blah, blah, blah. The FBI knows this. They had no ties in between each other. Blah, blah, blah. I think a big problem that we are relying on the information of the word of these people who are saying, oh, well, you got to believe what we're telling you about what's happening, because it's just a random thing that is happening. It has nothing to do with one another. There is nothing to do with per se that these guys had a planned agenda. Obviously, if this guy rented this truck from Texas, had made up his mind to drive all the way to New Orleans, do what he was doing, and had planted bombs in these ice chest coolers and was going to detonate them. He had planned this out. This was already it wasn't like he just thought about it that day, was thinking about it, and was like, I guess this is what I'm going to do today. I guess I'm going to go and do this. But like I said, I had brought it up, and we were talking about it, and I just wanted to get everybody's opinion and see what everybody is thinking and what they're feeling. If you are following the podcast, and have any, I gotta oil these things. Yeah, getting away from me here. You have any thoughts, ideas of what you think could be going on? Chime into the podcast. I'll bring you on. I just put the link on right now for the restream. Please feel free to come on and talk, or shoot me a message on the chat, and we'll have a discussion. I mean, this is I think we are seeing the beginning of something that is going to unfold, that if these people are here, if these radicalists are in the country, and you are put up a majority of them that have come across the border, I mean, that they have been plotting this thing over the past few years, doing something ridiculous. What are we looking at here? I mean, what is the scale, the magnitude of what we are barely seeing, versus what we are going to possibly be seeing in the future? Could this be a set-up agenda that the Democrats have allowed to persist and are allowing to happen to usher in this whole thing of, this is something that we've been trying to deal with, or we had no idea of, or we did not understand how this could possibly be happening. And once Donald Trump gets into office, it becomes one of those things where it's like, it's his problem. Let's leave it all on him. Let's just, blame it all on him and throw it in his lap. I mean, there are so many different things that could be possibly happening that we will be seeing unfolding, at the beginning of this year. But one of the other things also is this: there is no shortcomings of seeing that the radicalization of Americans in the United States and abroad, because it's not just Americans, it's any civilians or anybody from any other country that are being radicalized into these ideologies of, your country doesn't care, they're steering you the wrong way. It's better to just turn against them and turn your back on them, because their thought process is just totally not what it used to be, and we're going to be able to, we're the solution. And we've seen this in the past, and as I said, being in the military, I've seen it myself personally with people that were within the ranks of our our companies, that were like, I'm not going to go over there and fight against my own people. And it's like, well, what in the hell did you think you were doing? We're about to leave to go down range, and here you are sitting here trying to pull this baloney of, well, I'm not going to go. because all of a sudden you thought we were going to go fight the Germans? That doesn't make any sense. So the thought process of the thought process of the two people that have just been, thrown all over the news media about, these terrorist attacks, and the thought of, is there more things that are going to be coming in the future that we are going to be seeing unfolding? I pray to God not. But the way things that have been unfolding over the past year or so, 2 years, 4 years, has just been nothing short of mind-blowing, to say the least. And it shouldn't surprise anybody that we are seeing the decay of this country unfolding before our eyes, the economy withering away, or has been withering away for a while now, and the infiltration of this country by those who wish to seek to do us harm. This should be no surprise to anybody that we are seeing these horrendous acts take place in our country, and I don't, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are like, it's fear mongering. It's you're worrying about this way too much. I'm not saying that I'm worrying about it. What I'm saying is this. Is for a while now, we have been saying that the cells, or the people who wish to do us harm, if they have not been here, here they are now. Because if we are seeing people who are Americans that are willing to step up and do this kind of idiotic crap and cause damage in this way, and we are seeing what us veterans who have witnessed what these people who are in the name of whatever movement that they're trying to kill us veterans, and the harm they were willing to do on their own civilians in the name of their movement, whether it be ISIS, okay? If we are willing to see the horrible acts that these people are willing to go to, what we have seen is nothing shy of what these people who are willing to do something really radical, what they are capable of doing. And I seen a video last week. A dad was really upset. I think it was the father, one of the fathers of one of the people that was involved in this past school shooting. Says, when is it going to be enough for people to say, why in the hell is it that we can sit here and let the government tell us that they are more worried about politicians, they are more worried about CEOs, they are more worried about these government officials and securing them and worrying about their safety than they are worrying about the safety of our children and the safety of us. as citizens, average everyday Joes. It seems that we continue to take the brunt force of whatever's coming, and then it's after the fact of the matter. Oh well, this information and this information came out. This is information that we knew. Where in the hell was this information? If you were able to do something about this, or you knew about it, why all of a sudden, after the fact of the matter, are we seeing this stuff being picked up on? We have solutions to detour the acts of terrorism in this country. Just like we saw on 9/11. We couldn't scramble jets, even though the job of the Air Force was to be able to scramble jets in case of a hijacking to shoot these planes out of the sky. Was that done? No. Why? Because that very day there were jets that were on a flight mission, testing. Some happened to be on that very same day. That these planes were hijacked. And then we come to find out that not all the hijackers that were supposedly on these planes were actually dead. They were alive. Are we seeing an infiltration of our indoctrination of this youth of America these days? I mean, are we seeing the brainwashing of a lot of people in America to feel sympathy for these Palestinians, or to feel sympathy for a movement, or a certain ideology? Is it easier for people to turn if they are actually turning, if this is really what is happening? I mean, you've got this man who was in the military for 19 years, I think it was. And all of a sudden, you're going to tell me that this guy just decided to go do something. I mean, not even cause any damage whatsoever except to himself and this vehicle. This man knew what destruction could have been, but yet he chose to do something that caused the minimal damage. I don't know. Doesn't really make any sense to me. That's just me. Now, this other guy, on the other hand, decided to do what he did, and did cause a lot of injury and death. But could it have been worse? Yes. I mean, if the guy was planning these bombs in these ice coolers, it's the woulda, shoulda, couldas. But it seems really random to me, coincidental, that these guys who were military trained, military knowledgeable, created the least amount of damage in the name of an organization who has been known to do mass damage. They did. Thank God it was not worse. My heart goes out to the family members that this tragedy happened to, and I'm sorry that this was allowed to happen. But it makes you think that if these two knuckleheads are out here and they're like probably at the bottom of the totem pole of these extremists that are out there, what are the capabilities of these assholes that are out here that are really extremists, that are like, they don't give two shits. You know what I mean? They don't care about their life. They don't care about nobody else. They are these dedicated idiots who are out there just looking to take as many people down as they can. How many of them are in this country. How many of them organized? How many of these idiots out there are plotting something? Does the government actually know of um, that they can be taking down now before something happens, before something is escalated or is laid into motion? Do I believe that these acts are going to be the last? I pray to God that they are, but it just seems coincidental that it just happened. These guys just had no thought process, no planning. They supposedly had no community. I mean, this guy had all of this fuel and these uh, munitions in the back of his car, you know, and, you know, nobody's, I mean, you can't go and buy a gun without somebody jumping on your ass and being like, let's look into this up at your front door or something. But these two knuckleheads were allowed to get away with something, this stuff. But it makes you ponder and it makes you wonder a lot about what's really going on here. Um, I know a lot of people who are podcasters, who have radio stations, who have um, the ability to put out information, or who have followers that watch them. A lot of these people, I mean, I'm talking about ex-military guys or people who were in the military or in law enforcement, CIA. I know on my Facebook page, we posted some stuff about this stuff was being mentioned for a while now. A lot of stupid things are going to happen. And it's not going to be just these random dudes that are being, you know, these knuckleheads that are something. It's going to be, you know, allowed to happen. We're going to see a bunch of stupid crap that is probably going to take place, you know, and like I said, I pray to God that I'm wrong. But it seems like we are seeing these ramping up of these fucking school shootings. These idiots who are allowed to come across this border of ours into this country now, these military aged men. And I'm not talking about mothers and children and these men who are looking to, you know, sustain themselves or sustain their families or to come here and make a better life. There is a purpose behind these people that you look and you see videos, especially these Chinese nationals who are military age. Okay, when is the last time you've heard of 50 plus more Asians from China coming across the border in droves? Nevertheless, when is the last time that you've heard of packs of people from the Middle East coming here in droves? The borders patrol agents who are working down there are saying this is so ridiculous, the number of people that they are seeing coming across this border. It's unprecedented, that they have never seen it before. There was a border patrol officer who said in his years of service, this is the worst he has ever seen it in his entire career. 28, 29 years this man has been serving. And now we have the border czar who's coming in here, and he's been saying it for this whole time. Listen, this is what we need to do to shut this down, and he has been denied from this government that we have in place now. Why? Because it's the only reason why you would do that is because they don't care. And to see these horrendous actions that these idiots are taking on American soil, it really, it really irks a lot of us. And it should really piss to ask questions. What the hell is going on? Like, what is really happening? What is the whole purpose? I mean, you're seeing a lot of this stuff happen. I just posted something on Facebook. They just busted this guy who was living in a family safe zone hotel that they had set up for these illegal immigrants, and the guy got busted with an AR-15, hundreds of rounds of ammo, fentanyl up the ass, $750,000 worth of drugs, and he was living in a Safeway house, in a safe shelter that was set up for families of illegal immigrants. He was living in one of the apartments at the hotel. And like I've always said, look, always speaking up against illegal immigrants coming to this country is always going to catch backlash. I am not against people who are illegal aliens coming into this country as long as they do it the right way. Period. If people who are not of this country and not nationals are allowed to get away with things that they should not be allowed to get away with because it's not constitutional, it is not right under the law, okay, and the government is actually breaking the law by allowing this to happen in all falsehood of the Constitution. They are literally raping the Constitution in order to get what they want. And I think we have all seen the hearing of the future border czar sitting in front of Congress, and he's giving his speech, and he's defending himself, and he's telling them, listen, you guys don't know a darn thing about what you're talking about. You guys are up there talking and sitting here saying that you know the rights and you know the laws. I've been defending them for over 25 years. They do not have legal rights in this country under the Constitution. And you're bending them and breaking them and allowing this stuff to happen. And you're saying our citizens, we are not going to allow the removal of these immigrants once Trump gets into office. We are not going to allow our citizens. Well, wait a minute. They aren't citizens. They are not seeking asylum. They came here illegally. And now we are seeing terrorist cells. This is something that has become a real threat to the people of this country, because it was preordained long ago that this country was not going to save itself on foreign soil. It was going to have to do its saving of its own self here on our own land. And I as I've stated before, I pray to God that I'm wrong, that we never live to see the day where we are going to have to defend our nation. Okay, we're going to have to defend our country on our own soil, but we sure as hell are going to have to be ready to do some really big soul searching, because there are people in this country who do not like this country, and they are here in this country. They're not sitting in the Middle East. They're not sitting in China. They're not sitting in North Korea. They're not sitting in Iran. They're not sitting in Palestine. They're not sitting in these little communist little sanctions in these countries. They're not sitting in Mexico, South America. These people are here. These people are here in the country. And as I said, the way has been paved for them to be here because there are people in office who would rather see our Constitution in this country destroyed and ripped apart to fit the needs of what they see fit, what America should be: a slum, drug infestation, murder, and chaos running rampant in the street. Because the more control they can have of your life, of your daily movements, the more restrictions they can put on everybody to allow them to have more say in what we all do, the better they are off. We are not going to be better off for it. They would be better off for it. Because if they can strip us of our constitutional rights, which we are already trying to see them do, they've pretty much stripped us of our First Amendment right. Because if you say anything that they don't like or they don't agree with, you get shut down. You get looked at. You get talked to. We've seen people who have been saying whatever they wanted to say within their rights. And they've got FBI showing up at their to you about some things that you said. I don't have nothing to say to you. I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't threaten a person or anybody. And you're seeing these citizens going, man, this is what my tax dollars are coming to. But you will allow things like these terrorist actions to happen. But come and question me about something that I had mentioned or said something on, or a post that I had made on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. You cannot even go into a city hall meeting or a city meeting, official city meeting, and be told by these officials on these boards, these school panels, these city panels, these meeting boards, we're going to have you removed. Why? Because I'm using my free speech? Because I'm talking? I haven't threatened anybody. I haven't threatened someone or said something threatening. You know, you see a lot of this stuff happening all over the place. Well, we want to come and take everybody's guns. And I've never said there's so many videos of these people. Joe Biden, the big honcho himself, talking about stripping people's gun rights. These people would rather see this country tore out from the inside and decimated, using these tactics of fear, of these incidences that we are seeing now, to better infiltrate our privacy, to infiltrate our homes, to decimate our Constitution and our very way of life, our very freedoms that we hold sacred and we hold dear. Using these types of incidences to get their foot in the door to strip us of our constitutional rights. And thank God that there are people out there that are willing to stand up and say, this is not going to happen. We are not going to allow this to happen. Do I think that the government is the answer? No, because it has been going on for far too long and we have not seen any change. Do I think that Donald Trump is the answer? I don't know. I hope so. I hope things get better, because if they don't, it's going to get ridiculous. But as I said, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Like I said, I'm just ranting and raving. And as I said, I was, talking to some buddies, and we were just like, man, this is ridiculous, man. This is, I don't understand it myself. I really, really don't. Um, I pray that um, I you see a lot of this stuff that is happening, and it makes you question a lot of stuff, like why it was allowed to happen, or what is the purpose of, why would he have driven this truck, this cyber truck, with all this stuff in it, and the only thing that got damaged was him and the inside of the truck. With the vast amount of knowledge that he had with explosives, and actually seeing or being around BB IEDs and IEDs, I mean, this guy would have thought of something better. And yet we saw him, with all his knowledge, do something ridiculous. And as I said before, thank God that it wasn't worse. But it just really seems like, oh, well, now, he was a Donald, this guy's parents are saying that their son was a big, huge Donald Trump supporter. And it's like, yeah, well, we knew that was going to come out. We knew that was important. Well, there's no linking the two together, New Orleans and Las Vegas. But like I said, I mean, we know the threat is real. I just caution everybody, to be vigilant. I mean, if you see these guys, or you see somebody that just seems awkward, or they're acting strange, or, you work somewhere, and this person's been talking radicalized BS for a while, or saying something, let your law enforcement guys know. Um, but like I said, I mean, if these guys are really here in the country, and they're not from this country, and they've been hiding out here, God, forbid that they decide to do something, ridiculous. But like I said, I mean, like we saw on 9/11, their threats have been that if they were to do something, that it was going to be a lot worse than what we saw on 9/11. And I pray to God that we are going to be able to deter this, because war, we do not want this. We do not want this, and we need to stop it at all costs. So as I said, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to take a break real quick. I'll be right back, and chime in on us. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. And let us know what you think. And I'll be right back. I'm going to take a short break and hit you guys up. All right. So we're back. So anyway, I know a lot of people are probably like busy and they're doing stuff and they're like, man, don't want to hear this. That's all good. Let's see here. All right. So it says here, like I said, I mean, they're looking to his travels to Egypt as more information is becoming available. Um, it seems like more information comes out about this stuff after the fact of the matter, when it's like, did they know about this guy doing this stuff, or his traveling arrangements, or people that he was talking to? You would have, I mean, is it that possible that these guys just evaded the government and they had no idea that these guys were going to do something? I guess, we're probably not as sav as we thought. I guess, I mean, if these guys are going to allowed to have these travel arrangements to Egypt and meeting with these terrorist organizations overseas, and coming back home and plotting something with their extreme ideologies. But I mean, it just seems really hard that the victims have to suffer needlessly, and the government has no answers. And it's, like I said, it's just really sad to see that it has come to this, and that these radicalized, or these idiots who take up this ideology against their own country, since they have, served their country and fought against people that they swore to uh, defend this country against. Um, I just, it's mind boggling to me. I don't understand it. I guess I never will. Because is this going to be the only time that we see these fools doing something like this? I pray to God. But if these idiots are out there and they're going to want to do something, they're going to do it. Because it seems like they are not going to be stopped. Because the government is not doing everything in its power to stop them. And it's sad. It's really sad that um, we, the citizens, are, the ones who are going to suffer from, um, and we just need to be more vigilant, not just, with those around us and for those around us, but just keep your head on a swivel, and realize that we need to be more vigilant in this world that we are, witnessing, and and are a part of, because things are just getting ridiculous. Things are getting stupid. Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna stop off on that one, and possibly just go ahead and talk about another subject. But I mean, like I said, if you've got a thought process, or what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think about this? I mean, is this something that is just going to just keep escalating? Is this something that, are we seeing these, school shootings being undermined or under what am I? I'm sitting here. I'm got so much crap running through my head right now, and I'm trying to think of things. Are we seeing things like school shootings and these shootings of these officials? Are these people more important than what we are seeing them being towards our kids in school? Are they putting that precedence over the process of our children becoming more safe? Why are they not doing anything about that? There's so many things that they could be doing with that. Um, why are they allowing these people to come across this border if they know that they're military aged men? Okay, we know that there's been testimony from people from the border agencies saying, yes, these people who have been coming into this country, we know that there are more than numerous amounts of people who have come across this border that are terrorists. We are seeing it happen. We know that the infiltration of this country by our open borders has made this country more vulnerable. I mean, is this something that is to be put on the government's shoulders? Should they be doing more? Should they be taking more responsibility for the things that we are seeing happen to our youth, the murders of our citizens, the blatant disrespect for our law system, the blatant disrespect for our law enforcement officers that we've seen, just the blatant disrespect that we are seeing by the government itself for their own citizens. What are your guys' thoughts? How do you guys feel about all this stuff? I mean, let me know. One thing I wanted to also talk about too was these drones that we've been on now. Um, there has been a lot of videos that have come out about these drones. Let me see if I can. Oh man, pull something up real quick. Because it seems like all of a sudden now it's just died down, right? Like nobody cares anymore. Like what was going on? God, it a lot of things just do not make sense. It is not jiving. You know what I mean? It's like, how is this stuff even allowed to happen? Like, what is going on? I mean, we see an influx of these drones, and we hear about this stuff about a cargo ship containing these containers that had depleted uranium or tritium stuff inside of these containers that was damaged, and some of it went missing, and that's what these drones were. They were sent out to try and sniff them out. Um, and it's like, what's really going on? Um, um, what is going on with this? I mean, people are showing videos of these supposed drones that were flying over the U.S. and some of these don't look like drones. Some of these look like orbs that are changing and shifting and changing shapes in midair. Some of them are showing these objects that are stationary, and they're showing federal agents or law enforcement drones going up to these things trying to fly to them, and they just lose power and just fall right out of the sky, while these other drones, supposed drones, are just doing this kind of erratic movements in the air, too fast and too quick to be something that is a normal drone capabilities that we're seeing, which is really crazy. And like I said, it's just one of those things where it's like we seen it, it was happening, and now it's like nothing. We don't see anything else about it. And if you've seen one, or if you know of anybody that's seen one, and you've got pictures, that would be cool. We'd love to check them out and see what's happening, and get your guys' thoughts on that stuff too. But yeah, I mean, this is just really, it's something, it's extraordinary, man. I don't understand it. All this crap that is happening is just baffling, and it's very eerie, um, that it would be happening. It just seems like something out of a sci-fi movie, or something that would be in a movie. So, as I said before, what are your guys' thoughts on uh, what is going on? What do you guys think could be behind a lot of this stuff that is happening? What do you guys think, as far as is the government handling this situation? Are they doing well enough to make you feel safe? Do you think that they're doing everything in their power to keep everybody safe, or are they not? I mean, who's to say? I mean, we just barely started this brand new year out. We've got a brand new incoming president, and a whole his cabinet coming in. Are we going to be seeing change, drastic change for the future of this country? Are things going to be better? Are things going to pan out the way that they were hoping that everything was going to pan out for this new administration that is coming in? Did people put too much emphasis on too much weight them to be able to fix things that have been happening for the past 4 years? Um, or are we just seeing uh, a band-aid that is going to be put over something that is not going to get it any better? I mean, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. If you're on Facebook, just go ahead and message me on the Seeker of the Unknown page. If you go to the page on Facebook and just go to the comment section, just put your comments in there. If you're on YouTube and you're on your phone, you can just go to the comment section on the Seeker of the Unknown page and just put your comments in there. And what do you guys think about all this stuff? Or do you believe that these drones are a part of the government's plan to do something, or put fear into people, as far as this whole situation about this, them trying to find this missing nuclear, or uranium, or this tritium, or whatever it is that they were trying to look for in these containers that were damaged? Could it be something of them trying to hide something? Because why else would they be telling everybody, don't worry about it, there's nothing to worry about? And these things are flying in an FAA controlled airspace. They're flying over military bases. They're flying over restricted airspaces, and yet they're like, nothing's going on here. Like, it's okay. There's nothing to see here. Everything's all good. Don't worry about it. Uh, but yet, God forbid we make the one wrong mistake, and there are 500 people showing up at your doorstep. Um, all right. So Sean Ryan, anybody that knows Sean Ryan, has the real email, the manifesto sent to at Sam Asor. I don't know what the heck this is all about. Hold on, let me get this split screen so I can get this up on here. It says, all right, let me bring this on here so you guys can check this out, because I'm all right. Can you see it? All right. So, what the email is, I guess, that this guy sent out was, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexican border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. In case I do not make it, first off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast. But throughout history, the US, only we and China have this capability. Our OPSIN location for this activity is below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has been picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similarly to how they use the balloons for sighting and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of these balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned ACE aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have the unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It is checkmate. USG needs to give the history of this and how we are employing it and weaponizing it, and how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I have been followed for over a week now for likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me across into Mexico, but won't, because they know I am armed and I have a massive VBIED. Maintain a very visible profile and have kept, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in, it says, Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and the CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of CIVCAS that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. USFORA continued the strikes after spotting civilians on Intel ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with USFORA and agent blotted out of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with Jen Miller's and IO staff on this, and as well as the response to Bella Murgob, OAB, as commander at the time, can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war, because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. For vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livesberger, an active duty. What is that? 1BZ out of 110. My profile is public. I have an active TSSS CI with UAP USAP access. Sent from Proton Mail for Android on Sunday, December 29th, 2024 at 14:22. So what we are seeing is somebody who is giving out this information to whoever. Sean Ryan, I think, is one of the people who, or whoever got this email. From this person is dropping some, but then again, like I said, it just, things are just coming out of the woodworks here, and it's like, you know, this guy was highly decorated. And I think that given the nature of what he has been through and what he has seen, him doing whatever it is that he did is something that it seems to be that he was venting about, and wanting to let everybody know about the seriousness. But then again, as I said, I mean, could it just be a bunch of smoke that they are telling us one thing? Right. This is something else too. I was just monitoring a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at this, see what you guys think about this one as well. Undersea volcano off the U.S. West Coast. Predicted to erupt in 2025. A submarine volcano near Oregon looks like it could erupt at any time, and scientists have stuck their necks out by predicting that the event will occur before the end of 2025. Forecasting volcanic eruptions with more than a few hours' notice is currently a huge challenge, yet researchers have identified an undersea volcano called Axial Seamount as the perfect place to start practicing. Located on the Juan de Fuca Ridge, some 480 kilometers, 300 miles off the U.S. coast, Axial is the most active submarine volcano in the Northeast Pacific, erupting with sufficient regularity for scientists to try and study the patterns that precede these blowouts. For this reason, Axial Seamount was chosen on the site of the world's first underwater volcano observatory, with the first recording equipment installed in 1997. Since then, scientists have had the chance to observe the seafloor rumblings associated with 3 separate eruptions, which occurred in 1997, 2011, and 2015. The key finding so far has been related to characteristics inflation of axial surface in the miles prior to the eruption as magma accumulation underground and pressure starts to build, that is typically accompanied by a massive increase in seismic activity with hundreds of quakes detected each day. So what they're saying is they're predicting that this volcano that is off the coast of the U.S., about 300 miles off the coast, is going to be erupting sometime this year, and they are wanting to start using this technology that they've been practicing on to better get the realization of how these things, or predicting these things, can be, um, if in fact we can predict them at all. Um, God, which would very much help us in the emergency notification process of getting this information out to the public, and being able to warn them ahead of time, so that way we can, save as many lives as we can, which would be great. Um, and if anybody doesn't know, one of the biggest volcanoes that is currently a threat to us now is in Yellowstone. That is that has been doing a lot of rumbling the past year. Um, we have seen a lot of things that have been coming out of Yellowstone with these little eruptions that have taken place um, in Yellowstone, and it is very, um, I guess you can say, scary. Because if anybody who's ever looked into the sheer size of what would happen in Yellowstone if this volcano was, if this volcano decides to do its at the magnitude that they're talking about, um, it would be very, very devastating for a lot of people in and around this area. But yeah, like I said, I mean, let me know what you guys think about what I've been talking about here um, on the podcast. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people are probably out doing a lot of stuff right now, um, and it's been a while since I think the video that I had the most views on was when I did my episode on the hmm. Somebody just put this out, the 72 code. There's this theory that's been going around about this 72 code um, with a lot of events that have been happening. And I guess in this Tesla truck incident, the U.S. Army ID expires in 72, which is 72, the original founding of America. The National UFO Day, the day the girl saw an alien on a plane, the day the aliens invaded in ID for 72 bricks on the pyramid at the back of the dollar. Elon tweeted the dollar saying the end New World Order at 7:02. There's so many theories of stuff that's going on out there. I mean, I don't even know what to think about that one, but anything is possible, and the theories are swirling out there with all this stuff that's going on. And as I've said before, and as we were saying too, is that I mean, the guy decided to do it in front of Trump Tower with a Elon Musk truck, Cybertruck. The guy was making a statement, obviously. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that has just been going on. I mean, and you're hearing this from, the email. This guy's throwing out this stuff. Hey, these guys are not telling us the truth. They're not letting us know what's going on. Um, are they actually giving us the real um, the truth about what we are seeing? I mean, if in fact this is true, that China has this capability and is infiltrating the United States with these drones, is it so far fetched? Is it so far fetched that this could really be happening? Um, and if these things were a threat, why did they not get taken care of? Why were they not immediately shot down? Why did we not see the scrambling of jets? I mean, these, like I said, it's not like these things were not flying over restricted airspace. It's not like they weren't flying over military bases. No, and they were doing exactly that, but yet there was nothing to be done by the military. They just let it happen. Why? A lot of questions here. What is everybody's thoughts? What does everybody think? I mean, is there something else that is going on that you guys have noticed, that you guys have seen, that is going on out there that you guys are realizing? you know uh, could this be just another piece of the puzzle of what is going on or what is happening? I was trying to find this thing that I had I had or was saying something about. Hold on, I'm gonna try and see if I can find it, because it was just um so here, let me give you an update. This is what I posted from Sean Ryan. The same email address that messaged Sam Shoemate sent a message to Sean Ryan show. It said, Sam, I would imagine if Joe Rogan, Fox News, to name some of the other big names out there, scrub their emails right now, they could probably find a message from this guy. DeBarge MLB at protonmail.com. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Um, A lot of people are coming on here on Sean Ryan's show, and they're like, "This is not good, man. This is not good. This is wild. I think we have a lot of trouble coming our way." So CNN and Vegas PD are trying to say, "I smell cover up." All the DNA samples did not match son's DNA, but did they match it to a known sample of his? Since he was SF Green Beret, I'm sure they have his on record. When they said that the body was burned beyond recognition, first thing I would wonder was if it was in fact his body. Then you listen to what just came across your show today. It says it's sad to see that other servicemen are trying to discredit you over this. I watched Sam's video, but ultimately you don't have any evidence. Sure, you two have some good theories. The only factual piece you had was the Iranian missiles. Only thing I learned in college was read your damn emails. Sean Ryan, where can I donate to you, opening the eyes of the American people? Uh, uh, Dr. Stephen Greer, who was actually on Sean Ryan's show about a year ago, talked about this technology, and if this guy is actually saying it in this email to people that he has sent it out to, it is only confirming the suspicions of what we have already seen before. And that's wow. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Some people said, I think he's still alive. I don't think that he meant any harm to anyone. I think he wanted to be heard, and that is the only way he could get noticed. Says who was actually behind renting the videos. And the country's Toro serves follow the money. Attempting to wrap my mind around this one doesn't make any sense. He had obvious problems. Nothing he talked about in his manifesto is secret. Everything is addressed, is out there, and has been addressed in open sources in dozens of mediums and venues. He preposterous statements and declarations, personal actions, and methods of his ultimate demise clearly indicate he had serious psychological issues, or at the very least was demanding attention, says one respondent. At this time of the world turmoil, the United States community offers a perspective on the destiny of America as the promotion of world peace. More than 100 years ago, the founder of the faith addressing heads of the state. Let's see. I don't know what this guy's talking about, but he sounds like he's a radicalist himself. Yep. Big red flag is the use of the Proton email. If you don't know, it's end-to-end encryption service. Emails can be sent on a timer. My manager at work do it all the time. Somebody wrote, Sean, I don't think you can save everyone. Everybody's going to believe whatever they want to believe. You're doing a great job providing a platform for people to share what they have been through in the service of God and country. Yes, sir. Very well said. I don't know. It's just crazy. There's just so much crap. So much crap. Um, I know there was another platform that had put out the this is something I wanted to show everybody, because I'm not sure if it in fact was going to be able to. Let's see this, because this is something that I've said for this stuff, that you're seeing these CIA agents, these ex-CIA agents, talk about and discuss on other platforms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there is so much that is going on, or that is has happened, or is happening. Um, we have no idea what is going on, or the reality of what we are facing as a nation, with all of this stuff that we are seeing today, or have been seeing for a while now. Um, the reality of, um, I mean, this fog that's picked up in Texas. I mean, what is that all about? And now we're finding out that it's possibly nanochip technology, that is being laden out across these areas in the United States to test out, and actually see what is. what is going on, um, and how it's going to affect people. And it's just sad. It's really sad, and it should make a lot of people mad. It really should. Let's see here. Let's look at this one here. See what you think. Yeah, you heard. If something doesn't happen, we are going to have another 9/11 on our hands. And as they said, I mean, you've got people that are saying, "Oh, this is not a terrorist action," but you see them taking pictures of this ISIS flag. Oh, God have mercy. Um, you know, I wish people would realize and wake up to the seriousness of what is happening. Um, the seriousness that these people are willing to perpetrate. Um, and as I said, I mean, you've got a lot of, you know, is this something that should be, you know, is it something that I'm going to be like, I'm going to go in my backyard and start digging a foxhole in? No, but I am going to be vigilant. I'm going to be very weary about what is going on and what is happening around me and my family, um, because I can damn well guarantee, and I will bet you, um, I you know, as I said, I mean, these idiots are not. I mean, God help us. Um, am I, doom and gloom here? And it's not about fear. It's about um, us being united as American citizens, as patriots of this country, and uh, understanding that we are possibly going to see uh, things that are going to happen in the future. And like I said, I pray to God that we do not. But I mean, if these two numbnuts were planning or doing or able to conduct this type of uh, stupidity, and there are people in this country who do not care two iotas about anybody, but going through with whatever it is that they possibly are planning, then we need to be vigilant. All of us, each and every one of us, we need to be aware of our surroundings, and that's all I'm saying. And you know, this is something that we have been talking about coming to a head for a while now, and it is something that I pray that um, we do not see happen, and I pray that it does come to fruition that um, this new administration will be able to do something about what is is taking place, um, and a big change does happen for the better. But like I said, um, at this point in time, I think the damage has already been done. We are now on uh, a tail end of this thing where these people are in the country. They're in the country already, and they're going to do whatever it is that they're going to do. Um, and um, I I pray to God that the government does act in time to stop these things from happening, being proactive rather than reactive, um, for the sake of uh, of everybody out there. That they're able to do a better job than what we are seeing now. Um, and what the heck? Yeah, but a lot of craziness happening, a lot of things going on in the world that can't be explained. Why they have been allowed to happen. Um, oh, that's just coming out right now from. Ah, come on, Dan. Oh, Jesus. crazy is that? Wow. And I mean, like I said, it just makes you think, what are we being told? I mean, what is really happening? What are we being set up for? Um, what what is the benefit of allowing this to happen? I mean, if it in fact is something that could be deterred, why have they or why are they not doing it? Um, and like I said, I mean, I'm all for being optimistic that our government is doing the right thing, and they are looking out for us as citizens of this country. But it's looking very grim, um, and I'm hoping with everything that is in me that we can get this figured out, because um, I think this is going to be insane of a year, and as I said, I hopefully this gets remedied real quick with the new administration that comes through, and it gets handled very very fast and quickly, and whoever's behind all of this stuff and these people who are against um, who we are as a nation and who we are as a country, and what we stand for, and the very freedoms of uh, the citizens who enjoy them, uh, and would like nothing else than to see those freedoms taken out. I hope that they are rounded up quickly. I hope they are dealt with quickly. Um, and I hope that it um, comes to light who was actually behind it, and who was allowing this stuff to happen. Um, and yeah, this year is going to be one of those years, things unfolding, um, and uh, hopefully it's going to be a shock. I think to a lot of people, but I think it's going to be a revelation, um, eye opener, a realization, I guess, of what we have been talking about for a long time. Um, and I just, like I said, I was going to do the show on something totally different. I was going to be talking about World War II and the Nazis, and the whole cover up of Hitler's death. And if anybody who has seen the TV show Hunting Hitler, um, and watched that episode or that season on History Channel, it is very, very, very eye opening, because it tells you what we have all um, thought um, for a while, and that was that Hitler did not die in World War II, that he did escape. He fled to South America, Argentina. Not only did he, but he had a number of his associates that were said to be dead that did escape and did get out. And the evidence is astounding. And they reveal it. Um, they reveal it in this Hunting Hitler um, series on History Channel. And they go into great detail about, I mean, step to step to step on how they could have done it by getting out of Germany, how they got from Germany to Argentina, how they could have done it, witness information, eyewitness testimony. There are still even Nazi societies, German societies down in Argentina now. And I think people don't realize that in the 50s, there was a large Nazi rally that was being conducted in Madison Square Garden. It was like about 500 people. And it's like, what the heck? I didn't even know it until I saw the videos. And I was like, what the heck? And I'm like thinking, okay, well, this is probably like way before. But no, I mean, to see something like Nazi sympathizers in the United States, I mean, this is something that is a problem that has been happening for a while, folks. For a while. And we are just, I mean, is this something that we are seeing? Is this something that we are just seeing the fall of the Roman Empire? That we are at that stage in our infancy, that we have done so many things to tear this country down that we have literally destroyed it. And as I said, I pray that this is not the truth of what is going, what is in store for us as a nation. But is it something that, as we've seen with the Roman Empire, that we are foreseeing for this country? And as I said, I pray that it is not, the true essence of what we are going to be facing, what is in store for our future generations, our kids and our grandchildren. But as I said, it is just, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, this is crazy crap that we are seeing that is happening, all around us, and have been seeing over the course of the past 3 to 4 years. It's going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen in the future. And I appreciate everybody for coming along and being here. And thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is like one of those, it's out of the norm. I wanted to jump into some ancient technology and some aliens and some theories that are going around and circulating right now. But like I said, I just wanted to get that in there and get your guys' thoughts and get your guys' opinions on what you guys think. Because like I said, I mean, for a lot of people who have served this country and love this country with everything that is in our DNA and in our essence, it's very troubling to see that This is what it's coming to in this country. Is this a lot for? Is this what we signed our names on the dotted line for? Um, I mean, to allow tyranny to be able to take and run this country. I hope it is rectified. I hope it is changed. I hope it in some way is remedied. And I hope that the next administration can fix it and fix it fast. And I wish Donald Trump and his team all the best of luck in the world, man, because, it seems like Biden is and his administration is doing everything they can before they leave office to just screw it up as much as possible. I mean, we just seen him, sign another $25 billion over to Ukraine, and it's like, I just don't understand it. I just don't. Um, you've got NATO that is just pushing for this war with Ukraine and talking about sending troops and talking about sending more armaments and fighting Russia head on with NATO troops. And it's like, you've got Putin just, he's chomping at the bit to, hold his peace, to not escalate this thing as much as has been going on since he dropped this Oreshnik bomb. When he did, and he just pretty much told everybody, look, this is what we're holding. The ball's in your court. What are you going to do? If you keep playing with us, this is what's going to happen. And it's like, you keep seeing these fools in front, this dumb administration that's in office now, they keep poking this bear, and it's like, wow, man. It's scary times. But like I said, the best we can do is hunker down, be vigilant, be prepared, um, and hope for the best as far as the new administration that's coming in to deal with everything that's going on and to make things better and make it right and fix the problems at its core by changing the government for the better and realizing that the government is not above the people, that the government is supposed to be under the people, and that we, the people of the United States, are the ones who run this country. And we make the decisions, and we are the ones uh, who they work for. It seems somewhere along the lines, that line has been twisted in a way to uh, the powers that be that are doing things that are not within their grasp. And it seems like Trump has been making moves to make things happen for a while now, and we're possibly on our way to seeing things become better. And hopefully that does make its way through 2025, and it does happen. So here's to better days, and hopefully better situations ahead. And as I said before and earlier in the podcast, our prayers go out to the families of these victims of this senseless BS that has taken their family members' lives, and something that should not have been allowed to go down, but it did. And people need to start demanding answers from their government. They need to start questioning and asking them, what the hell is going on? What are you guys going to do to make us safer? What are you guys doing to put us first on your list? Besides sending $25 billion and all of our taxpayer money over to a country that is not doing anything, we have no business being there. Start putting America first. Start putting America at the top of your list. Start doing for this country and its people, and let everybody else deal with their own crap. we need a big drastic change, and I hope that we're going to be seeing it here coming up pretty soon. Uh, and as I said, um, I very rarely do these things where I'm talking about political stuff because I want to try and keep this podcast um, strictly on a lot of other things besides politics. But as I said, today was just one of those things. I just wanted to get it out there. Where, what are your guys' thoughts? What are your theories on a lot of this stuff? The thing that we are seeing that is a theory of, are they planning something? Is something coming out? Is this something that we are seeing the beginning of that is going to look worse down the road for us? As far as these cells of terrorists that have been allowed to come into this country over the past few years under this current administration, or is this just an isolated incident of a person who was, trying to get information out and let people be aware of what is actually going on, and is trying to make a statement by doing that, and had nothing to do with this other guy that was in New Orleans? And these are both separate things. Could it be? I don't know, but I think the majority of the ruling is that something was done simultaneously here, and there has been a lot of stuff that has been happening over the past 2 days with these guys or people or whoever trying to do these coordinated attacks. Because there was also another incident, I think, at the Capitol building. And it's like, wow, it makes you think, it makes you wonder. But as I said, I appreciate everybody being here, and I appreciate all the followers and all the support that I'm, of everybody that has been following me over the years. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody has been safe. Hope everybody has been doing. And everybody who follows, if you guys have been a supporter for a while, chime in and let me know what you guys want. What you guys think of the podcast, what you guys think of the episodes that have been put out. I don't have a lot of time to sit here and edit the videos, so it's just, it's live, it's straight forward to the point. I talk about the topics that I'm talking about, put some information out there, and let you guys, uh, um, research the information after I give it out to you, to do that due diligence of following up and doing your own research, and looking at the subject matter, and just giving you that thought process of, hey, this is information that, is out there. Look at it. And if you guys would like to talk about certain things, or if there's something that you have questions about, or something that you would like to hear being brought up on the podcast that I haven't talked about, or that I have talked about already, and you're like, man, this was really captivating, man, I would like to, learn a little bit more, or what other information is there that's out there that you could possibly share with everybody. Go ahead and do that. Hit me up on YouTube, hit me up on Facebook. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And like I said, I appreciate everybody being here, and helping and pushing the podcast along and growing it as it did. I believe we've gotten over 50 viewers on YouTube. I appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed to the channel, man. It means a lot. I appreciate everybody. And thank you guys for following along. And I will see you guys next week. I will see you guys in the future. And thank you guys for being here. And I appreciate everybody. And as I said, let me know what you guys want to see, or what content you guys are more stoked about seeing on the podcast, or hearing about on the podcast. And if there's something that you would like to discuss, or you guys would like to come on and discuss it on the podcast, let me know. Hit me up and drop me a line and let me know, hey, Sam, or, let me know what you guys want to talk about, or what your interests are, or something that you have information that you would like to see more about. And we'll try and get something else put out for you guys. So thank you guys again. I appreciate you, and Happy New Year again, and be safe out there.